Joining us now, Tom Fitton, the president of Judicial Watch. Tom, good to have you with us. And let's turn first to this defense among the IGs of Atkinson, because it seemed fairly obvious that he went to some lengths to make that whistleblower a whistleblower when there is great controversy and conflict over whether the unidentified whistleblower actually was that.
Yeah, it looks like to me we need an IG investigation in the least of the IG's actions in handling this alleged whistleblower. And he really wasn't a whistleblower. He wasn't a whistleblower under the law. And the fact that this operative treated him as a whistleblower shows that he shouldn't be in the job, because it involved undermining the President of the United States, applying the law to the President where it had no business being applied, and then working with Congress improperly to share this information. And Mr. Atkinson needs to be investigated in addition to being fired over how he handled it. And look, these IGs, they sometimes put out good information. In my experience, Lou, they're as political as the next appointee, and they're often involved as much in the cover-ups as the folks they are pretending to investigate.
And that's been the experience of this president, his administration, and the rest of America, to see the investigators after just a little over 3 years, the FBI investigation, special counsel investigation, the congressional impeachment farce investigation, if you will, and the only ones discovered to be politically corrupt and at the very least illegal and unethical in their actions were in every instance the investigators, for crying out loud. The president stands exonerated, vindicated, and by the way, now we learn the Democratic House leaders want to pursue him again. Is there nothing we can do to stop this outrage?
Well, certainly the president can reject any cooperation with another impeachment effort against him. This commission that they're proposing, Schiff, of course, is leading it. He's implicated in the coup attack with Atkinson. Should be rejected out of hand by the president.
I'm sorry, Tom, forgive me for interjecting, but I just have to ask, why isn't the Senate Judiciary Committee investigating Schiff? Why isn't the Senate Judiciary Committee and its chairman, Lindsey Graham, who promised he would investigate the investigators? He's done nothing in almost a year and a half.
The Senate leadership doesn't want to confront Democrats. Democrats easily can, under the current rules, stop subpoenas from happening, and they don't want to fight over it. And it's inexcusable to me. I don't understand it. And this is why we have Judicial Watch. We don't rely on the Senate or Congress to do anything. Half the time, they're part of the problem. So Schiff is going to try to harass the president further, and you can bet any commission is going to be designed to destroy Trump and protect China. That's for sure.
And as we look at Boasberg, he is starting to look the part of a sincere and concerned judge as he is examining what's happening with the FISA courts until he says, turn it over to the FBI for investigation. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the judge should institute criminal proceedings about what happened here with both the Trump warrants, the Carter Page warrants, at least 2 of which have been disavowed specifically by the Justice Department. Now there are potential 29 more crime victims, as reported by the IG Inspector General, the Inspector General of the Justice Department, and asking the FBI and the Justice Department to explain bureaucratically what they did. You know, look, if we did this, if Judicial Watch lawyers went in and lied to the court repeatedly, we'd be hauled in and face potential jail. And instead, the Justice Department and the FBI, in response to at least the latest IG report, talks about reforms as opposed to prosecutions. This can't stand. And if I were the president, I'd appoint a special counsel directly to investigate the Justice Department and the FBI's and the other agencies' involvement not only in Spygate, but the abuses of other Americans as presented by the Inspector General's report just last week.
What does this portend for the Attorney General? and John Durham's investigations, as we look toward the prospect of the chiefs of the intelligence agencies undergoing critical scrutiny by the efforts of the U.S. Attorney John Durham. We are hearing nothing. We're told there will be further delays. William Barr sort of tells the American public, pats us on the head and says, be patient and don't expect too much. That's hardly the justice that most Americans expected to see rendered as a result of the efforts of Attorney General Barr and U.S. Attorney Durham.
Yeah, at least we had some good news today. I don't want to slide off topic too much, but at least the State Department, Justice Department went to appellate court today and said that Hillary Clinton shouldn't be able to avoid testimony. The court ruled that she should be able to testify on her emails and Benghazi attack records. So at least they stepped back a little bit from protecting her all the time. But the broader point is that the Justice Department and the FBI institutionally can't investigate themselves. And even if Barr were the best AG in the world, he'd have to be handwriting the indictments himself because he's surrounded by thousands of James Comeys and Strucks and McCabe's. Those folks don't want to do the work. He can't do it by himself. The president should help him with a separate special counsel that has separate investigators and prosecutors working for them, as opposed to the deep staters that we're relying on now to investigate themselves.
Tom Fitton, President of Judicial Watch, we thank you both. Good to have you here.